Pinterest recently did something interesting. They turned off or basically limited AI modified images. As someone who still uses Pinterest a lot for inspiration and references, I started wondering what that actually means for artists like us, ones still figuring things out. I'm not here to break down the whole update or anything like that. I just want to talk about what this feels like from a beginner's side, how it's changing the way I will look for ideas and learn from them. Honestly, Pinterest used to be my safe place. When I run out of ideas, I'd go there and I didn't think too much about what I was looking at. I just pin whatever looked good. But somewhere along the way, Pinterest started feeling different. I'd scroll and see images that looked too perfect. Lighting just didn't make sense, and the faces looked almost human, but not quite. They really didn't look like human. At first, I thought maybe it's just style, but turns out a lot of that stuff was AI generated. I was using it as reference without even realizing. But I didn't know because I was learning, and when you learn, you just take something that looks cool and you draw, you just copy without learning. Now that Pinterest is putting labels on AI modified images and even letting people turn them off, I started thinking about how much that actually matters to someone still learning. Because when you're learning, you copy what you see. You study lighting, anatomy, shapes, and if what you're seeing isn't real, we're kind of learning the wrong thing. Like, how do you study folds from something that was never photographed or drawn? So, in a weird way, I feel like this update might help us get back to learning from real things again, not just perfect illusions, uh, slop. I don't know what to call them. But here's the other side of it. I've already started noticing that some legit illustrations made by real artists I actually follow are being marked as AI modified, and that's just sad. Like, I know these artists, I've seen their process, and still, Pinterest system is tagging their work as AI. So now I'm wondering if maybe that AI detection thing at HQ is a bit broken, or maybe it's just still learning. Wait, it's learning from anyway, because while it's meant to protect originality, it's confusing us, especially when real art gets mislabeled. Lately, I've started checking where my references come from. If something looks too flawless or off, I'll double check if it's AI made, which is so hard. But sometimes Pinterest even shows that little label now, so woohoo! And instead of relying on one picture, I've been mixing references, like grabbing one photo for pose, another for color, another for vibe. Makes the process slower, but at least real, because I used to finish a portrait in just 4 hours of copying and not learning, and turning out it was AI that I was referencing for. And nowadays it takes me like 2 days, 3 days. If I'm not overthinking that much about that piece, it can take me 2 days, 5 days. At least nowadays, I understand what I'm looking at, and there's no weird anatomy or random shadow or things like that. I don't know, I feel like this update is kind of a reset button. Pinterest is still full of inspiration, but now it's pushing us to be a bit more intentional, to know where our references come from, and maybe to start building our own little library of ideas. And for me, as someone who's still growing, that's actually kind of exciting. I don't know exactly how big of a deal it'll be long term, but right now it feels like a small win for artists who are still learning. Even if the labeling system is not perfect yet, I hope it eventually finds a balance. You know, if you use Pinterest a lot for your art, which I know you do, I'm curious, have you noticed the change? Do you care if your references are AI or not? Leave it in the comments. I want to hear your side too. And if you're still figuring out your art journey like me, stick around. We'll figure it out together.